This is a story about how a group of students realized that reminders change habits. When in the classroom, I noticed that a group of students were handling a couple of Buddhist amulets. I asked them, "Why are you handling this? What's going on? What's the interest in these Buddhist amulets?" They told me that they were inspired by the story of Greta Thunberg and by the story of the deer who died recently in Bangkok from pollution, as well as their daily commute throughout the polluted streets. They realized that they wanted to live a more sustainable life, and to them, wearing an amulet around their neck was a constant reminder that they needed to live more sustainably as they manipulated this amulet around their body. So I asked them a question. I said, "Well, that's wonderful, but how can we remind everyone to conserve and live sustainably?" And they came up with the idea that we should create statues at the point of waste so that everyone remembers to live sustainably. So we went on a field trip to find out more about symbols. We visited a local monastery to understand the symbols behind Thai culture. And we came back to the classroom and did some research. We needed to find out where the waste was happening within the school. We figured out that the major points of waste within a school are in the cafeteria with food, facilities with electricity, bathrooms with water, photocopy rooms with paper wastage, and we're wasting the good air that nature gave us by living in polluted communities. We also realized by learning from our symbols that all of these elements actually represented the 5 elements of nature: earth, fire, water, wood, and air. We decided, let's make our own statues and be inspired by these 5 elements. So one statue for each element so that we can all remember to live sustainably for these different parts of our school. So we took the students and went to a makerspace in Bangkok called Helios. And there they learned how to make statues and crafts and did a whole bunch of stuff with the experts in the area. Then we went to an artist studio locally also to continue to make clay potteries and whatever the students wanted to design themselves, and we took it back to Verso. So the students decided on their own to make a statue out of clay to place in the cafeteria. This represented Earth. A solar-powered light statue, which they put next to the switches and wired it so that it would capture the sun from outside but go towards the switches inside, and this represented fire. They went to the forest and picked up some wood and crafted some Buddhist statues from wood for the photocopy room. And then they made a water statue with a little sign in front saying that this is how much water is wasted every day, and placed that in front of the building. Lastly, for air, they got everybody who was interested in the project to come together and make a quilt, which they would hang from the banner so that when we walked in the building, we would always know and remember that we need to live sustainably. 3 months later, after these objects were placed near these points of wastage, we collected evidence again and data and tried to figure out, had people's behavior changed? Were they living more sustainably? And we asked the question, is there less wastage in the school? And whatever the answer might be, why is that the case? Why was there or wasn't there changes of behavior? But we're going to keep it going. This isn't a pop-up project. This is something that's going to keep on lasting. And we want to continue sustainability because this is something we need to have throughout our life. We picked one project to go with, in this case, composting, because that was something that was very near and dear to these kids' hearts. So we started composting in the cafeteria. We took the compost and took it to the Permaculture Institute of Thailand and worked with them on a variety of offerings that they might have. But specifically, we were interested in the agripreneurship part of their offering. And the students came up with their own plan. They decided to provide the urban garden with compost and grow vegetables. In these vegetables, they were going to sell a certain portion to the school and with the profit plow it back into the garden. And then the rest of the vegetables they would donate to needy communities. And throughout, they would promote organic farming throughout the Verso community. So now everybody remembers to conserve, and these students have created impact and have changed actually their community, their locality, and hopefully the way everybody acts. What did we do beyond walls? Well, we talked with a Buddhist monastery, we made the linkages with a makerspace, art studios, and most importantly, a longer lasting, deeper relationship with Permaculture Institute, which provide a whole range of services. And that's Verso, and that's the Design Challenge.